Okay, let's talk about Victoria now. We've
only been talking about her the entire time.
Her one redeeming quality.
Okay.
Here it is.
And this is, for the sake of The Bachelor on the show, you need someone like Victoria to be on the show with you. And the reason why is because Victoria...
Ugh, gross. Why would you, no.
It feels so good right now.
Hey guys, welcome to This Is Not a Date podcast. I'm Callison.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Keith.
So the first thing that happened was the girls are walking and falling rock. They're so excited to be there.
It reminds me of camp.
Yeah, and they get to see their
beautiful
rooms and where they're going to be staying. And it is 10 times better than La Quinta.
This place is so huge, it looks like, but yet we only see like one room.
Quinta was like
never
a
really got
prison.
much of a glimpse of the girls' rooms, did we?
No, but that one big room was just so well designed, I guess.
And so like later on in the episode, I'm going to cut you off there, but we learned that these girls are rooming together, but you'd think there's like 50 rooms in this house that they would not need to be like rooming together.
Is it a house?
I don't know what it is, but it seems like you saw like a million windows.
Yeah. Lots of windows,
Looks like
lots of beds, but I guess there are lots of girls too, so maybe they did run out of rooms, who knows. But apparently they have to room anyways, because we find out that Victoria and Marilyn are roommates.
Good choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so first the date card comes in, and we find out that there is going to be a group date and 2 one-on-ones. And the first one-on-one is given to
Bree.
Bree gets the first one-on-one.
She didn't make much of an impression on me on the first episode, but now I know all about her
I
from the
liked
second
her.
episode.
I thought she was the
love
best
her.
dressed.
Yes, me too. I love her. Yeah.
I thought she was the best dressed the first night.
definitely.
I loved her dress. Like, I want to go on and buy it.
And then she
it's from
commented
Revolve.
on, like,
Yeah, you know-
I already know where it's from.
She goes on the date. I was like, that's my best outfit. Like, you look so good.
She did look really
You're talking
good.
about like best dress for the first night?
First night, like
Okay, didn't notice. Okay, so but
really?
second
It was
day.
like a green. Oh, it was like a green dress.
Okay.
But did you notice when Chris came in, he like pointed out Abigail because she got the first impression rose, and all of the girls were like,
And the first
so
kiss?
They were like so excited about her, and they're like, and she got the first kiss, and it was just funny. And if it would have been any other girl, that wasn't, because she just seems like she's the sweetest person there.
People are so happy for her.
Yeah, I feel like
Genuinely happy because
they
she's
would
such
have
a
been,
sweetheart.
like upset about another person. Like,
And of course, Victoria's still upset about whoever it is, whether it's Marilyn's happiness or anyone in the house's happiness except for her own. So yeah, obviously she didn't comment on that positively.
Yeah.
If anything, she was negative about it. She's like, you guys being happy for each other, it's fake, and you're.
That was she didn't really get that too into it until the actual group date.
Until the group date.
The one-on-one was named, which was Bree.
Yeah, and she's like, you guys need to turn against Bree, basically, because she's competition, and she has first one-on-one.
That girl is so twisted
I
on
know.
so many levels.
I didn't think she was. Yeah, I didn't think she was
caught
that
it.
bad.
I just
at
knew.
first, but it gets worse in this episode. She is a terrible person.
Did your feelings towards her change, Keith, in this episode?
We'll get into it in a second. we'll get back to that.
Okay.
But what I think is interesting is, so watching like normal TV shows that aren't reality, okay? Victoria acts just like the main character, except we are like in love with these main characters. Like, oh my gosh, she's so relatable. That's hilarious. She says things as like no one else would say in a TV show, not Victoria. But and then we go back to reality TV, and Victoria is acting just like a main character in a regular TV show.
She acts like a fake person.
But yet. Since it's reality TV, we all dislike Victoria. But if it's on a TV show, we'd be like, oh, that's so relatable.
I would
That is
still
true.
hate her. I hate the way she speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows how to get people angry, but she is saying all the things.
Does she have like a Valley Girl accent?
Yeah,
is that what that is?
You know what? I want to just touch on this. I know girls, and I've known girls from like kindergarten to middle school, like know them all throughout time. And then all of a sudden in high school or like college or whatever, they change their voice. I'm telling you, it is a conscious effort to entirely change who they are, to sound like Victoria.
Yeah.
People that just talk like you and me and then just being like, hey girl, I don't know. I'm like, who are
I didn't
you?
notice her accent change.
No, she didn't change in the show, but I'm assuming it. She did. She wasn't walking around as a toddler in middle school talking like. I mean, maybe in middle school, I don't know, but.
So I have.
You have to force your voice to make it.
I have one positive thing to say about Victoria, but we're gonna save that to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bree's date was they went ATVing.
Yep.
And then they had a cute little hot tub. But
wood burning hot tub.
But pre-hot tub, they flipped the ATV.
Have you ever gone on an ATV before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay, me too. I used to have an ATV back home in Maine and used to ride it. And I was a very careful driver.
Yeah.
I was actually, I never do anything like recklessly. I'm sure some people like to have more fun with it. I just kind of used it to carry things, not so much for fun. Yeah. But it takes some skill to flip an ATV.
Yeah, they must have been spinning for a while.
Poor guy.
Doing donuts.
Like, don't look at this, Bree's mom.
Right.
But yeah, so during the day, it kind of flips back to the girls, like with the drama that's going on in the house with the girls and back and forth. And so I think it was around the hot tub scene and the wood chopping scene. It cuts to the girls, and we just see Victoria being such a brat again. And she says something along the lines of, "I'm sick of you guys. I hate this girl power bullshit. Get off the show. This is not a sorority." Like, just the rudest comment. I mean, I was trying to find a video, like a YouTube clip of just all her horribleness. And even then, like, you just have to watch the show to really see from, like, moment to moment. You might see, like, little tidbits of, like, you know, certain lines or whatnot. But, like, through and through, that girl is no good.
Yeah.
Except we're going to find out there's a positive aspect.
There's a positive aspect to all of this
Keith.
in the end. So you guys just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Everything Victoria is doing is...
It's all leading up to one.
It's all leading up to something really special. Really good.
Being that girl in the house, though, it never benefits you. So I don't know why. Like, has she not seen the show before?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always question.
The fact that she's so appalled that it's like the sister wives thing, and like, we're not here to be friends. You not know how this process works. You have to get along with the girls. So you know.
Yeah.
If you can't get along, and I think we talked about this in previous episodes. If you cannot get along with girls in a group or just anybody in general, how in the heck are you going to be a great wife and be a good relational person when you're going about in these interviews and like the whole life that happens after the Bachelor? You're just not going to be a good fit. And if she's not a good fit for him, and I think that's clear, why is she there? Why stay? I just think she's a horrible fit. Anyways.
All right, enough with Victoria. Let's talk about the actual relationships.
Okay, other relationships. There's other girls, like 30, how many girls?
We got some good relationships on here. So Bree, let's talk more about her. How do you feel about that relationship?
I think I like their relationship, but one thing with Matt is that in each relationship, he's putting like everything he has and being really open-minded and like letting his wall down with each person and just like being there in the moment, you could say, and just enjoying his time. Like, he probably doesn't need to be there, but he's there because he's ready for it. And he's just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's so the attitude that I get from him.
Yeah,
when he's like talking with all these girls.
He's really good.
He treats each relationship kind of uniquely.
Well. Yeah, uniquely.
And he's just open-minded about it.
Yeah. And then I think Bree, she goes to share the aspect of her family that was similar to Matt's, which is that she's a little bit more. She comes from a broken household as well, a broken family where they had split, and that now she's concerned. I think she said something along the fact that her mother just got remarried, and because of that, she just doesn't feel like she fits anywhere with this new stepdad and this new family, because her mom's pregnant as well. So found a little bit more about her in this episode, which is kind of nice. And I think he relates to that hardship aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think she's a winner?
I think she could be. I think at least top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
Top 10. Wow.
Yeah, she's definitely up there.
Not even top 5, just top 10.
Well, I was thinking top 5, but then we haven't got
Too
to know
early
all
for
these
top
other
5.
girls quite yet.
Yeah, it's too early to say.
Yeah.
But so they have a firework show.
Yeah.
All the girls go outside and see it, and Victoria comes out with.
She's really happy for them.
Oh no, she's not very happy. She was saying like, "Ha, in your face, I was right."
Yeah.
Like, we need to gang up against her because she already has a rose for, like, she's set.
Class act.
And then that's kind of like where a little bit of confrontation between Mary Lynn / Marilyn comes in, and they kind of have a little altercation, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Victoria definitely thought it was a bigger deal than I had thought. Did you think it was not that big of a deal?
Not at all.
I thought it was like a one little comment thing and it was going to be over. But
and I think
not really.
Mary whatever.
We're really bad at
I'm
pronouncing
just
names on this show.
Marilyn, she handled it so well, so elegantly, and she said,
Oh, yeah.
I was just trying to get on the same page to get to know where you come from, your background. Even if she had said it in the way that Victoria had said it, I mean, we can tell that Marilyn's not the type to jump into that from what we've seen about her. She's got a meek, gentle spirit to her, and she's,
Yeah.
you know, she can be emotional, but she's not like going after anybody. She's not vindictive.
For what we see.
From what we see, yeah.
So
but I think we'd see more girls backing Victoria, or more girls saying, okay, I've seen that in Marilyn, I could see that. But we were seeing people that were appalled. They're like, I know Marilyn. She
would
that's
never
not
say
her
that.
character. So,
but I guess her and Victoria, Marilyn and Victoria are roommates.
For a second.
And now Victoria's sleeping on the couch.
yeah.
Which was her decision. She didn't have to do that. She's just stubborn.
Yep.
But that's kind of like where that ends, I guess. Then we go into a group date.
Yeah.
Yes,
Next was
the
a
group date.
Yeah, which I loved this group date. I thought it was so fun.
I know, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on this group date?
Everyone.
Everyone's on the
Just
group
about
date.
everyone
Oh my
except for like
gosh.
4 people.
Yeah.
I think it was, what was it? 18 girls.
18 girls.
18 girls, yes.
Wow.
Including Victoria.
Yep.
But then again, she didn't get a lot of airtime on this. Well, at least most of the group date.
So in this group date, they had a wedding photo shoot, and they picked out their dresses. It was raining. They're all getting soaked, and they got dresses on, and now it's no longer raining.
Yeah.
Wait, they had to capture the heart.
But before that,
Before that, they did
we had a photo shoot.
Oh, right, the photo
And
shoot.
all the girls were
with
trying
the
to grab some
same
kisses.
photographer from Tasia who took terrible
Hold,
photos.
hold on.
His
Hold
pictures
on.
are horrible.
Hold on. Go on Bachelor's Instagram, and they show these pictures, and they're 10 times better
You're kidding.
than what they actually
Okay.
show.
Why do they
on
make
the
them look
TV.
so bad on
the
TV?
TV, they do this weird thing with the
Why
whites,
do
and the
they
whites are just
do
like,
that?
I don't know what's going on the TV, but in the Bachelor Instagram, they look like normal photos.
Oh my gosh.
Now that I look at photos, that stood out to me that we haven't really gotten to see is Ileana, I think, and Piper. I think them two are like one of the two of the prettiest girls there.
They're all so pretty. It's hard to tell. Like one time, I think I loved Cindy last time, and then I found another girl that I'm like,
Yeah, like those
Wow.
two I did not see or notice the first night, but
MJ's also gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
my
MJ's
gosh.
really pretty,
and her
too.
hair up too, and you can see her whole. I love her hair as it is, but it's like she's got 2 different looks that she can pull off, which is cool.
definitely changes like the way she looks with
Yeah,
her hair.
Definitely.
You know. Anyways.
And so after that part of the group date, the photography aspect of the group date, we have the capture the flag sort
Capture
of
the
thing,
heart.
which is capture the heart, yes. So very similar to capture the flag, but with this like plush heart thing, and it's
We have absolutely no idea what the rules are to this game.
is it red versus yellow?
I thought it was blue, but
Blue?
who knows? There's cake, there was paint, there was
Yeah.
just cutting of the dresses, people getting tackled. I don't really know what's going on.
It was
A
kinda
ref
like
that doesn't
it-
actually do
yeah.
oh
anything.
yeah, he's just sitting there. Not
The
doing
ref.
Yeah, that was funny. And then the photographer goes in rogue and starts
Yeah.
taking pictures. Yes, red team wins. And a couple people on the red team include Kit, Victoria, Katie, who else? Mari gets in because she was
She was the best.
the best on the other
She was
team.
the best / Matt just really wanted her to come.
Yes, she was MVP. Do you guys remember anyone else that was on the winning team?
I can't remember. Victoria.
Abigail wasn't on the winning team. I know that one.
Hold on. This whole episode, I forgot to mention this. Did you guys notice Victoria's bra?
Yep, I saw it.
Victoria's bra.
Her
And
bra is always showing.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
Have
her
you
wedding
noticed
dress,
the
you could
shine
see
on
her bra.
face? They're like, just get one of those little
Yep.
dabbers. You just want to go like,
yeah.
boop, 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 boop.
There's a method to what she's doing.
Oh yeah.
Just to be the
So
shiniest
so
of the
this
shine.
was
No,
like
there's a method to her madness.
with the
You
bra
think-
show.
we're gonna-
yeah.
Is this what we're going to find out at the end?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited to
Oh, yeah.
see any positive info because I cannot find any myself.
Yeah. So her bra is one thing that stood out. Like you can always see her bra strap, the bra on the back, the front part of it. Like it's always something's hanging out.
Yeah.
But she kind of like forced Matt to make out with her.
Yeah, that was awkward.
That was super awkward. He did not seem like he was
And
into
how did
it.
he continue from there? Like how? I don't know.
I would have been like, you need to go
you're
home.
Like, nah, I'm good. I just can't imagine that's a good kiss. Sorry.
He didn't
Yeah.
seem like he wanted the kiss.
I don't think so. No, I think he seemed. He's the kind of guy that's so nice and so like open to anything and like is like, okay, I'll try to figure out the best bits of you and, really get to know you, because he doesn't want to write anyone off. He's such a good guy. But I really don't think, I don't know, because I see her as such a villain. I'm like, ugh, gross. Why would you, no. Don't. And I feel like most people do feel that way. I'm not alone in this, guys. Like, okay, come on, in the comments.
Okay,
let us know.
Let's skip that. Who did you see any good connections for during this group date?
I think the only connections we could see is after, in that little party they had.
Cocktail party
at the end. But yes, I did. Well, the girl who got the, not impression rose, but the rose that night.
Yep.
Which
was Lauren.
Was it Lauren?
Yeah.
Lauren?
They had a good conversation.
Yes, it was Lauren, yes.
Victoria thought that they had a good conversation, but she just forced him to kiss her again.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Lauren, gosh, I again, with the whole, like, trying to do top 10, because you don't realize until you really get to hear these people's stories how great they are. And Lauren, she didn't stand out to me really initially too much, but once you kind of got to hear that her faith means so much to her as well, and that they were able to relate on that, you just know that that's a big deal for Matt. And so I think that's probably the primary reason that he picked her. But I think she also is very deep and open, and I think he loved that. And that's what he's asking for. That's what he wants from the girls to be, is the most authentic themselves that they can be. Yeah. Why are you blinking? What are you thinking?
I got nothing. Continue.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone else stand up to you in that little group date?
No, I don't think so. No.
They didn't really show much of the other girls talking to, like, for example, Kit. We got, like, no screen time from her.
I thought she was going to be, like, one of the center of attention.
I thought so too. She kind of faded in the background. And I think she might be the Spencer. Also, we see that Rachel and Katie were really sad, I think, going back to the whole, like, the group date aspect before they had the time with him, that they put everything on the line, and they both cried about it, that they didn't get time with him.
Because they had to walk of shame home.
Yeah, some of those girls didn't get a picture either.
That's true. I was surprised they didn't do the capture the heart. I was surprised it wasn't strip capture the heart.
Yeah,
that's a very Bachelor thing to do.
That is so true.
That would have been equality,
equal,
at its finest.
Yeah.
That just reminds me of the picture thing where Victoria steps in, and she, without being called up, and she's like, the queen's ready, the royal picture.
A royal wedding.
Yeah, the royal wedding, beaches, or whatever.
Did you, like, notice how, like, the photographer, what's his face, was like, called the next girl before Victoria?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know the person he called. Katie?
Yeah.
He's like, Victoria, I'm here.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, I think you missed me.
Yeah. Okay, so after all that, Sarah gets the 101?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Sarah gets the 101. And then
they go on a really scary airplane.
Yeah, after the first date, I was scared.
It's called a biplane?
A biplane, because there's a two wings going on.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I was surprised that they didn't flip the plane, like they did with the ATV.
Yeah. I feel like they would have fallen out.
Gosh.
But I don't know. I think I expected a little bit more from Sarah. And I think she kind of did deliver most of what I was expecting at the end. But of course, she was holding back at first. I think he mentioned he was asking about her family and how she felt about her dad and her mom. And I think it hit a nerve, and she just kind of shut down. And then later she opened up a little bit more about it, which was really good for her. I think once she kind of gets through that, and I think she just did, like, by opening up about her background and all the pain that she's incurred by watching her dad suffer the way he has.
Yeah.
I think she'll be on her way to, being ready for this.
Yeah.
For a marriage, because she's really broken right now. You can tell that, and I mean that's something I can relate to. I think she's getting there, but she's not quite there yet.
So you mentioned you wanted to see more from Sarah.
From Sarah.
What way?
I think I want to see more of Sarah, because I think Sarah, she's taken a big step to open up and to really kind of say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, but I know there's a reason I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But I think once she just went over that big obstacle, and I think once she gets past that big, monster, big horrible thing that's in her life, it's really painful and sad, she can expose all the other parts that make Sarah Sarah.
Okay, so Sarah versus Bree, 101 dates. Who do you think's in the lead?
Sarah.
You think Sarah's in the lead?
I think Matt's more into Sarah
than
Bree, but I'm not sure if Sarah's that much into Matt yet.
Interesting.
But one thing I wanted to point out about Matt being upset that she didn't open up and that he was concerned. He was like kind of concerned that she wouldn't open up to him.
For the first part of the talking,
yeah, because
right?
of the first portion. And I feel like the producers might be being like, why didn't you think she wasn't opening up about her family?
Hold on.
And then he's like,
hold on.
he's like, oh yeah, I guess why isn't she? But like, why is there so much pressure
There's
on
a lot of
these
pressure.
women?
They have so little
They
time.
just met and they go on a date, they go on an airplane. They probably didn't even talk because you can't hear.
No.
And then,
everything has
and
to
then
be
Matt,
rushed.
the producers or Matt expect her to be like, oh, my dad has this like, what is it? ASL.
ALS.
And it's a disease and it affects my family. Like that's so personal. And I don't think she
is so personal.
should be forced to tell someone that until she's comfortable and feels like there's a reason.
Okay.
No, I don't think it should be forced.
Go ahead.
So when he first asked about her dad in the first portion of the date, there's a little bit of a hesitation.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying.
There's two thoughts. Is that your thought is because she's not ready to open up? My thought is that the producer said, talk about your family, your father, during the dinner portion. So when he asked about the father during the day portion, she was like, they told me not to talk about this till dinner.
You think?
Kind of thing. That was my thought.
That makes sense though.
But that's because she really didn't, she looked like she could have talked about it. She didn't look like she was like hesitating. I didn't get the sense of like she's hiding anything or wanted to hide or didn't want to keep it a secret during that day portion. She was like, it's not the right time to talk about it. But I could be completely wrong. Who knows? That's just,
she's like looking at her producer like,
But I do want to know.
do I tell now?
With what you said, Jade, like it's so crazy that like you have to like everything out of the line because it is so quick and they eliminate so quickly. If you're not completely and fully like exposed,
that's true,
which is so personal. Like the relationships, you have to get to a certain point before these other girls get to that point, or else you're going to be dropped off. And that's kind of how the show works. If you don't open up soon enough, you haven't opened up enough, which is not normal life dating.
Especially if she has an early on one-on-one date. So the next time she has a one-on date, she might not have another one-on-one date. So if she wants to like get that information out, it needed to be then, or it needs to be before a rose ceremony,
or awkwardly during a group date.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
That would be a little awkward. But that was just my take on the pressure of like opening up so quickly.
And she gets the rose.
Yeah, she gets a rose, and I think they're cute together. I think Matt's really into her. Sarah seems like she's into him, but I think there's hesitation there.
What do you think his type is? Is it like the high energy girls or like the really nice girls?
Really nice girls.
Nice girls.
I really love what he said as well. He said something along the lines of he hopes that he can prove himself to be a man worthy of her or something along those lines. And I just, it goes back to the whole, like, he puts everything in each relationship he has, and he's so humble and so like, it's two-sided, and he recognizes it's two-sided. It's not people competing for him. It's him, like proving himself worthy for these girls as well, which was sweet. And he said that with Sarah.
Yeah.
He's like, what can I do?
Something really sweet that he did for Sarah was after she opened up about that, he was like, well, what can I do for you while I'm here to make you feel comfortable? And she was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would ask me that. And what Bachelor would have ever said that?
Nobody.
Like,
he's like the best.
I know. He just like is so genuine.
I would have said it.
He's so genuine and like
I would have said it.
just a good person,
Yeah.
Just,
he's absolute gem.
Yeah.
Absolute gem of a guy. Okay, so after that date, it cuts to the girls again. And
are we at the pre-rose ceremony?
Pre-rose ceremony.
Yeah.
Cocktail party?
Cocktail party. Sorry.
And so I guess it starts out with, of course, the Victoria Maryland.
Well, before
drama.
Victoria Maryland, he has other talks, and they're good, right?
Yeah, they're
making some connections.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the main focus though was this, and that's why all the girls got upset because only half the girls got the time, and then I guess Victoria came in and put the bomb in there, and it exploded, and they had to deal with that, and then all the time was wasted. So we got to see some brief conversations though, and they weren't bad conversations. They were pretty sweet conversations.
Yeah, and Marilyn had a really good conversation with Matt, and he got her an orchid.
Orchid, her favorite flower.
Sweet. Very thoughtful.
Orchid.
which was super sweet. They did have a good conversation. So she was like all happy, like, oh, I can't wait.
It broke my heart how he thought of her after Victoria said what she said.
No, that was before.
No, I mean, so Victoria came in after, and then after Victoria said all these bad things about Marilyn, he changed his perspective on Marilyn, and I felt so bad for her because it was he was like, I don't know how I feel about Marilyn anymore. Like that, she's bullying, Victoria, and I don't think that's right. And
but Victoria like comes to him and says like, oh, Marilyn said this. She's toxic, going on about her being toxic. I swear she said it like 10 times. But Matt says like, okay, I want to get to the bottom of it. And if I was Victoria, I would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah. Crap,
he's going to get to the bottom of it. He's going to find out some dirt on me.
I don't like it when the bachelors or bachelorettes get to the bottom of things that's happening in the house.
Yeah.
It just like puts like a, I don't know, bad energy.
But it's like they always do that, don't they? Like they always feel like the responsibility
I just get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
I was like, do you?
Like, can you just let them sort it out?
Yeah.
But I can also see both sides. You're like, okay, I want to know what's going on so I can evaluate who to let go and who to keep, because I don't want to hurt other people in the house.
Yeah. So Matt goes and finds Marilyn, talks to her, and she's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I would never say that. Whatever. Yeah. And then this is kind of where I was like, oh my gosh, I hate Victoria. Like, she needs to go. She is the worst. I don't like her. Like, at this point, I feel bad for her that this is how she has to act to get attention. But the way she treated Marilyn and
when she was trying to reconcile,
when Marilyn was just trying to squash it and be like, let's just make peace, whatever.
She wouldn't sit next to her.
Oh my gosh, she was so rude. I would have walked away if somebody was acting like that towards me.
You could tell, that's another secret, like a moment that we can tell Marilyn's character that she was not, she was still comic collector.
Bad
she was like, I don't know. But things that Victoria called Marilyn was that she was toxic energy. Then right after saying that, she says, Victoria calls herself an empath. I think that's so interesting.
I wrote that as a note too.
Because all the people in Bachelor history that have said that I'm empathetic, I have emotional intelligence, the people that say that outright are the opposite.
Well, there's one person who also claims to be an empath in this season.
Who?
One of your favorites, MJ.
MJ.
Yeah, but I actually believe her when she says it.
I believe her too.
Yeah, I can understand that. But the fact that Victoria said that, I burst out laughing. It was like, what? And she said it with says authenticity, like she really believes that of herself, and then does all this other stuff. Says that Marilyn cries to manipulate situations, and then so they have the conversation where it says she said, I think Marilyn said to Victoria, what we were talking about was, she said, do you mind if we have a conversation outside? And then Victoria says, no, you can sit here. And I'm not going outside.
No, she's like, it's too cold outside. I'm not going outside. Like, ew. That's like,
and then she said, okay,
so
can I sit here? And she said, sure, but I don't want to sit next to you. And so she moved to the next couch. Like, who does that stuff? Like, so you can look me in the face and tell me that I was lying about what you were. It just
makes her look like a terrible person. Like, it just did not
There's
sit
nothing
well.
redeemable that I can tell from her character. Yeah. But we're about to find out, because the last, well, it kind of cuts off at the rose ceremony and the end of all this drama. We don't really know who gets sent home or doesn't, because that's next episode. So we're about to find out what is the redeemable quality of Victoria that are.
Well, just before that, what if Marilyn was actually like the worst person ever?
I still don't think Victoria needs to act like that.
Even if
probably
she was.
not. Like, what if? Wouldn't that be really scary?
Then they both need to go
home.
What
if everything she's saying is true?
What do you think the odds are that she is, though?
He's super awkward.
Like I don't believe Marilyn is like the best person, but I don't believe she's also as bad as Victoria's probably saying. Yeah. But I don't think she's as nice as a Brie or a Sarah or a Abigail.
Yeah. When after Victoria like went and talked to Matt about Marilyn to like start drama, she came back and she's like, so I just had to tell Matt, like to all the girls, that what was going on in the house. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. One thing that was suspicious to me though, about that whole like conflict was all the girls were like kind of consulting Marilyn. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. I can't believe you said that kind of thing. But not one girl went to Matt and said, what Victoria is saying is not true. So that was what makes me feel like, wait, is Marilyn actually not the best person in the world?
Girls might be scared to confront because they don't want to
go against Victoria.
And they don't want
drama and be a part of it.
Be a part of the drama, and then they're like, oh no, like if I'm in the drama,
but it just would have taken one person.
Yeah.
It would have just taken like
every single one
person sacrificed.
Sarah just had to go talk to him about Marilyn, and boom, it's over.
But also, they didn't even get enough time to speak to him, let alone give that.
That would have been. That would have cut it. Okay, if Victoria said all those bad things, but it was about Abigail, every girl would have went to Matt and said that's not true.
Yeah.
Everyone. But since it was about Marilyn and no one really cares about Marilyn,
we will see that they do that.
No one actually stands up for Marilyn because they don't really. They're themselves like, it's Marilyn. But if it's Abigail. Yeah. Every girl would have defended her.
Yeah.
But you know what we did see is Sarah at the rose ceremony. Mm-hmm. Sarah says the fact that he's even considering Victoria makes me feel like my relationship with him is I don't sometimes. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable with the relationship with him.
I would feel the same way.
I agree 100%.
If I was Sarah.
Okay, so let's talk about Victoria now. We've
only been talking about her.
Her one redeeming quality.
Okay.
Here it is.
And this is, for the sake of The Bachelor on the show, you need someone like Victoria to be on the show with you. And the reason why is because Victoria exposes the worst side of every girl in that show. And Matt needs to see the best and the worst. So if Victoria wasn't there, every girl can act their way to perfection the entire season, and he would never actually know who these girls are. But since we have someone as toxic as Victoria on here, they're exposing these girls' bad sides.
If they're going to be overly confrontational, or if they're going to be like sassy about it.
Right, it's like how did she take that situation and talk to Matt? She was calm about it, kind of thing. Yeah, she's good. But if it was a different, say that she was actually
would every girl be okay in that situation? Probably not.
So, right, so it kind of exposes all these girls kind of like darker sides, I guess. It kind of gets them out of their act because you have a person really pushing them to their limit.
Yeah.
So you really get to see the true sides of these people. And it's kind of scary for a bachelor in this kind of world. Like you don't actually know these people, who they are.
Yeah.
So someone like Victoria helps him see who these girls are and how they can react to these really negative situations or toxic behavior, or I guess gaslighting is a name call one thing. That's it. So is she going to stay in the season a bit longer? Yes, most likely. Is she going to?
Looks like in the previews
she'll be there on as long as it needs to be to kind of get everyone upset as possible. So anyways, how do you feel about my assessment on the Victoria in the house? Even though you guys don't like her, but do you think having someone to expose the bad sides of people is a necessary evil?
I don't know if it's a necessary evil, but there is some goodness to it. There's a light. What's the saying? There's some good and the bad there. Yeah. But I don't know if it's necessary. I think probably someone else will step up as a villain. I think that probably would be Kit, or someone we don't know quite well enough yet. But otherwise, I don't know if they need the drama, but I think it does expose, like you said, some bad qualities, which is good.
Yeah, it might be super annoying for the girls, but I think for like the guy's perspective, it's kind of helpful.
But it also twists his perspective on the girls when I really don't think that Marilyn is as bad as she says. I don't think
Matt and Marilyn are going to end up together, but it's just the fact that Victoria just has to belittle someone like that. It's just embarrassing for her.
I think Victoria ruined it for Marilyn because he put doubt in his mind.
I don't think there's ever a chance for Marilyn in the first place.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, girl.
She got an orchid, though. I mean,
she did get an orchid.
And then at the very, very end, it cuts off with Sarah.
Yeah, passing out or seeing lights. What'd she say?
Not seeing anything.
Stars.
Oh, she was full blackout.
Blackout, and she said, I'm seeing stars.
Yeah, and the medics come, and everyone's like, what the heck? And Victoria's probably going to come out and say, she's doing it for attention.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see that next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your top 10?
Who's
10? Your top 5?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to top 5 I can do easily. Sarah, Abigail,
Sarah and Abigail.
Sarah and Abigail are my top 2, is what I'll say now.
Okay.
Because there's too many girls for me to narrow it to 5.
Got it.
Yeah. I think mine is Sarah, Abigail, Rachel, maybe Katie, MJ, and Lauren probably.
Okay.
I think that's a good
my first is Victoria.
Oh, and Bree
Victoria
as
the
well.
Queen is number 1.
Shut up.
Then Kit the Princess is number 2 because you got the royal family in there.
Okay.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then after that, probably again the Sarah, and then the Abigail. Anna's up there for me too.
Where's
We didn't really
Anna?
see much of Anna, but she's got a bubbly personality. Not sure if she's.
I feel like you picked the crazy ones. Why do you pick the crazies? I feel like we should make a bet on this and see what happens.
And
'Cause I do not
maybe
see that
maybe
Abigail.
Ileana. That's how you say her name. Ileana's up there.
Ileana's sweet, yeah. I think Anna, to me, she seems bubbly and great, but like there's part of me that she's got some crazy eyes on her. Like I don't know if you saw it in the last episode where she was
Anna?
Anna,
Yeah.
she was eyeing him, trying to
Yeah, I like that.
send the message.
I like that.
You like crazy girls, but she's a little bit off a rocker, but she's definitely entertaining. I think, yeah.
She's really happy.
I think we'll see more of her in the future.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see more. But other than that, I guess that wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this week. We'll see you next week on Wednesday for another recap. My name is Keith.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Callison.
Bye. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys.
guys.
Welcome to This Is Not a
You got it. You had it.
Date. Okay, it was. This is not a dead
Sorry, Callison, it's that camera right
crap.